is fabulously strong, lifted the title in Doha last October, a few months after the world cross-country title on that incredibly demanding circuit in Aarhus in Denmark back in the March. Well, the world record for 5,000 on the roads was set here by Cheptegei back on the 16th of February, so he's got fond memories of Monaco, the Ugandan. He's built nicely this last few years. He was 8th in the Rio 5,000, the Olympic Games, and then 6th in the 10,000 of the year. But that only race he's had this year was that 5,000 world record on the roads, 12:51. Watch out too for Julian Wunders of Switzerland here, third away from the camera. Holds the European record at half marathon. So, let me break it down for you. The world record of 12.5 laps is equivalent to 3 times a mile in 4:02, and then another half lap at a pretty healthy clip. That in itself sounds astonishing. They need to run 60.5 per lap, and I'm not sure anybody here is going to do it. Whether or not Cheptegei's in the mood, we shall see. 3 pacemakers though, and Roy Hoornweg of the Netherlands, the 31-year-old, is going to take them out early on. But they do need 60.5 per lap. It's incredibly quick, and that's why already, after what, a couple hundred meters, almost down to single file. Interesting to see, Steve, how Henrik Ingebrigtsen goes. He's back in, about 9th place at the moment, mustachioed and usually wearing sunglasses. He's seen great runs from his brothers in the 1,500 already. But as they come to one lap, let's see the split here through 400 meters. There, and it's around 60 flat. Goodness me, it's quick.
Yeah, Tim, the clock not stopping there, so you're right, I think around 60, which is what was asked for. So Cheptegei has picked up the gauntlet, and he's got a couple of his teammates for company as well. Well, actually not his teammates, but training partners, and he's got Kameli is just at the back of that group, and those 3, with the 3 pacemakers already well ahead of the rest. You mentioned Krippers leading them, Ingebrigtsen in that group as well. So from 200, the first they've just clocked, that was a 60.7, Tim, to the finish line, if you like. So they're on it, and the lights are there to help them. You'll see them on the inside of the track. They're just ahead of the green lights. We can see it down the back straight. You can't quite see it on that shot there. You can maybe just see the green lights there. They are right up there with the athletes. So that's set at this even pace world record. And I think, Tim, you and I keep making the point to people, lights are great at even pace, but that's not how races are generally run, are they?
No, it's not. No, you need to be a little bit outside. Well, generally speaking, you need to be a little bit outside the world record tempo with a lap and a half to go, and then you wind it up on that final lap and make up a big deficit to close in on the world record time. They went through 800 there, by the way, in about 2:01.5, and they're coming up towards the 1 kilometre now in front of us. And Kisa now hits the front. A Ugandan 24-year-old, he's a 13:10 man himself, goes through 1 kilometre, 2:31.87, so that is good. That is promising. That is near as, damn it, on world record tempo. Those 5 right away from the rest now. Cheptegei
still in there.
Approaching 2 kilometres. This is the 2 kilometre point, and the pacemaker there goes through. That pacemaker going through 2K there, actually. 2K, a 2:31.9. Now, let me tell you that they are way ahead of the split set by Bekele when he set his world record. His first kilometre was 2:33.2. They went through here today in 2:31.9. They've just run another 2:31.9. It is brilliant pacemaking. And Ramsden now at the front, pushing on through this 6th lap. They're building a bit of a cushion here and still looking relaxed in those white socks, which is quite rare for distance runners these days on the track. Is the man attacking a really quick time, Joshua Cheptegei. His personal best is 12:57. Let me tell you that he needs to improve that by almost exactly 20 seconds to get near that world record of Kenenisa Bekele. Bekele went through 3,000 in 7:37. He was alone by that point. So the pacemakers here actually lasting just about as long, maybe a little bit longer, as the pacemakers did for Bekele and Hengelo back in May 2004. He's doing a great job here, Ramsden. What are these laps coming out at?
Yeah, he's done there, Tim, and Cheptegei has got company with Kameli, but he's got to do the work here if he is to keep this on track. I don't know why he's looking at his watch, Tim, because the lights, the green lights, which are just moving away from him, should tell him if he knew that, if he knows that. He looks comfortable, he looks in his face, he looks comfortable. But as you rightly said, Tim, that this is the hard laps, the hard bit of the race. This is where he's got to try and keep the pressure on.
He's going to have to get to 3,000 if he wants to maintain average pace of 60.9 there. That's good in 7:34. But this is looking very promising, I have to say. That world record, 16 years old now, and a little bit more of Kenenisa Bekele. Cheptegei begins to wind it up. He's really testing Kimeli here mid-race. Fabulous split, 60, 61. Girdle your loins, folks, because we could be seeing history unfold. He went through 3,000 in 7:35.1, and he's cut loose now, Joshua Cheptegei. He's inside the last mile, just under 4 laps to run. Kimeli in second place, running incredibly strongly, about 30 metres down. But Joshua Cheptegei has it all. He has that speed on the track. He's a great 5,000 runner. He has that enormous strength of a 10,000 metre runner. He has that gutsiness of a cross-country champion. And he's still looking relaxed, isn't he? 2:31.9, 2:31.9, 2:31.4. I've got his last 4 kilometres, his last 3 kilometres at. And the world record is under severe threat here. It could be quaking in its boots. The next significant split's 10:07 rather, at 4K for Bekele. That was his split. Now the kick in the tail I have to warn you about is that Bekele ran his last 5 laps in almost exactly 5 minutes. Astonishing closing pace from Kenenisa Bekele. He was just 21 when he set the world record back in 2004.
He doesn't have to go quite that fast, Tim. We're looking at 3:2-ish for those last 3 laps. So let's say he runs a 61 and a 61 and then can finish with a 59 point something. You're right, it's on. It's 100% on here. Those green lights, he's just moving imperceptibly away. You can't quite see it on that shot there. He's not looking at them, but we can see that that means he's inside world record pace. And we're assuming, Timmy looks so relaxed, you said that. There you see through that last kilometre, 2:30. Phenomenal. There's Kimeli, long way back, but still running quick. He comes round this time, it'll be just 2 laps to go. He's not slowing down, he's maintaining, and he's girding his loins, and we should be, like you said, because this could be phenomenal.
You do that a lot, don't you, Steve?
I do, when I can.
Well, the world record beckons out in front. The rest of the field, half a lap and more behind as Joshua Cheptegei comes through now with 2 laps to run. 60.3. The previous lap was 60.1. This is unprecedented. I used the word Superman earlier on, perhaps a little bit early. This is superhuman running. Cheptegei has now built up a lead of what, about 80 metres over Kimeli. Back in second place, Nicholas Kimeli, who's a 12:57 performer, came 8th in the World Championships last year at the age of 20 in Doha. But he still looks so relaxed. A lap and a half to run. Goes through there in around 11:05. And he needs to cover his next 600 metres in about 92 seconds. And he's still glancing around. This is metronomic, machine-like running. Robotic running almost. He's so relaxed.
He looks great, Tim. He's coming up to the bell. I think he's going to absolutely break this apart. He must do. He must have something left here. He looks too good. He looks too relaxed. He's away from the lights. He takes the bell now. The world record is on.
11:35 at the bell there, a 59.9. He's covered his last 3 laps in almost exactly 3 minutes. He's matching stride for stride the closing pace of Kenenisa Bekele, but he set up this world record because he went out through the first half of the race and more, much quicker than the Ethiopian 16 years ago. Down the back straight, 250 metres to run, history in the making. Julian Wunders there with Switzerland, waving him on, is being lapped now, and hardly surprising. Great runners will be lapped by this man as he goes into the final 200 metres. Still looking strong, no panic, no sign of stress, not driving hard. He's got to hit the clock, hit the line in 12:37.35. Is he going to do it? Because he's tiring now. Down the home straight, surely it's going to be close. Watch the clock, 10 seconds to go. He's got about 50 metres to run, and he's still driving for the line. At last he grimaces and looks mortal. But there, 12:35.37. The world record has been broken by almost exactly 2 seconds. And he's still smiling. He's still in good shape. This fella, well, probably deserves the name Superman beside his own Joshua Cheptegei of Uganda, more than anybody in the history of distance running in the modern era. That was astonishing. I said before the race he needed to run 3 times a mile in 4:02 and then some change for that last half lap. Well, he's just run 3 times a mile in about 4:01. That is just hard to comprehend.
What a performance, Tim, and I love the way he did it. We've talked a lot about paces changing and picking up. That was almost an even-paced world record. His fastest lap, there was no big surge at the end, 59.64. Most of the other laps were within a second or so of that. 60.7, 60.6, 60.4, couple of 61s in there, just lap after lap after lap, and then he set himself up. He was tired at the end. He has every right to be tired. What a run, a world record on a night of nights here. And Cheptegei said he was going to do it, and he has. And you've got to really admire him for doing that. When people announce they're going to run fast and then come and do it, hats off to him.
12:51 for Kimeli, a massive personal best in second place. But that is the story of the night. Surely the story of this bizarre athletic summer of 2020. He went through 3,000 in 7:35, began to ease away from a brave Kimeli there. But Nicholas Kimeli of Kenya couldn't hold him back over those final laps. And coming home, as you said, Steve, 59.64, just adding together his last 4 laps. He ran them about one stride outside 4 minutes. And his last 5 laps, in fact, almost identical against the clock to those of Kenenisa Bekele, but he built up that big cushion early on, and that was the key to it. He was aggressive, didn't rely upon his closing speed. He ran metronomically, very even pace throughout. Fabulous stuff.
And the other thing I love about him, he remembered to stop his watch as he crossed the line, just in case something went wrong with electronic timing.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Marathon runners holding their hands up in front of their faces, they break the tape because they want to stop their own watch. Oh, yeah, you're entitled to look in pain but smile. It's a wonderful, rich pain that you can be proud of. 12:35.36. I didn't think I'd see that world record of Kenenisa Bekele broken for many a year yet.
Well, from one new world record to